Three. All right, we are live. What's up, everybody? A little bit of an intro. If you guys caught the first live stream, I say thank you. This is the second one, signed, sealed, and delivered. I'm sitting here with TJ from Chilltown, and we're going to talk about all the fights. There's a lot of fights, not crazy amount, but I think there's some value, some underdogs, maybe some method of victories, props. So we'll just get into it right now. TJ, what's up, buddy? Thanks for doing this again with me.
Yeah, no, of course, man. There's some really good matchups coming on Saturday. So Matchroom's got back-to-back cards. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. So with that in mind, you lead the way. You lead the way. What fight? What fight do you kind of? You want to? Do you want to start with the Ennis fight? Do you want to start? I mean, a lot of boys been
I mean,
asking.
it makes sense to do. You want to do the UK card? We'll do the UK card, and then work from there.
Okay. So we got the main event, Alan Makhmudov. People been going back and forth. Neither one of these guys are going to be a top 10 heavyweight. Probably, and neither one of these guys are even talking about wanting to be a world champion. But a lot is on the line. You know what I'm saying? And they've had mixed results. I'll pull up the odds right now, guys, because they've been kind of swaying. So I'm going to bring those odds up, and then once we get them on the screen, I want TJ. TJ, you could kind of take the mic here with Dave Allen.
How much of this is recency bias with Dave Allen is kind of with the Johnny Fisher wins. If Johnny Fisher fight didn't happen, I mean, this fight wouldn't be happening. But with Makhmudov and Johnny Fisher, man, it's so interesting because it's really a clash of styles. It's like a crossroads fight. You have two fighters that I can make cases on both winning. In a way, even though it's such a weird fight, like I much prefer talking about this fight than saying the Tama Dillian White fight, right? Like that to me wasn't interesting or like people, I know in your Discord people have been going back and forth. I like Allen, I like Makhmudov. So I mean, it's a lot of interest with this fight because can Makhmudov win early? Can he win later? Can Allen really like go on this run? They're talking about maybe fighting Wilder next. Like how far is this gonna go?
Yeah, it's definitely one of those fights where you're not going to be too comfortable as a bettor. It's not like whether you've gone heavy on either fighter or heavy on a decision or heavy on a stoppage, because of both guys how they've operated. They've both been stopped before. They both have losses. They're not the most skilled heavyweights. It's kind of like you do kind of have to sit back and ask yourself, how much am I going to bet on this fight? Is this economically the one to kind of invest in? And for me, it's a stressful one. It's an entertaining one to bet on because there's value on each side. But I don't know if I'm going to be betting the house on either outcome on this fight.
No, yeah, I completely agree. I don't have a great read on it, a great grasp. I don't think anybody really does. I mean, they're such volatile heavyweights, these two specifically. So how are you really going to know? I have an educated, I guess, cause of action on where this is going to go. I'll tell you, I think Makhmudov has been shown he's dangerous early. Almost all of his knockouts come 1, 2, or 3 in the first 3 rounds. After the 4th round, he tends to fade. He gasses badly. He loses all form. And it's kind of then he just becomes he walks towards you throwing clubbing shots, right? His boxing, what little boxing he has, kind of goes out the window. But David Allen, we saw during the Fisher fights, Fisher's not so much different. All his knockouts come early too, and then he fades also. So, in that regards, Allen knows the game plan here. Weather the early storms and then roll with the punches. And he came on stronger in those Fisher fights. And I think he can utilize the same game plan here. Come stronger and try to drown Makhmudov late. And I'll tell you what, everyone keeps telling me fight not to go the distance, fight not to. I could see this becoming midway, very sloppy fight. Everyone clinching. Clinching. They're both gassed. It's not like Allen's high volume. Makhmudov kind of doesn't do much either. They're just clubbing each other. We know Allen's tough, never been dropped. So, I mean, I wouldn't even feel comfortable in playing heavily the fight not to go the distance. So, because they're both tough guys. Even when Makhmudov got stopped recently, I mean, to be honest, he was stopped because his eye closed up.
It was a cut.
Yeah, I mean, and Guido, we'll talk about that later, but Guido pretty much put on a masterclass against him to shut that eye. So, and David Allen's not hitting like that. He's got a completely different style. Otherwise, that fight was probably gonna, possibly go the distance.
Yeah, you
So,
bring up a good point. So right now I've highlighted on the screen. These are the odds down here in Australia. Will the fight go the distance? Yes, $3.50. You bring up a good point about, as they both fade, if it gets through those, fifth, sixth rounds, and then the pushback will be like, well, I mean, Johnny Fisher gassed and he gets knocked out. The difference is with Fisher and Makhmadov, you'd have to ask yourself, Fisher showed his sort of greenness, for, if you will. He didn't know how to clinch. He was hurt. And then you see a lot of amateur guys or with guys without a lot of experience, when they get hurt, they kind of go straight arm and they don't know how to fight hurt. And then they get knocked out. And that's what happened with Fisher. The thing is, have we seen Makhmadov? Have we seen him rattled, stunned on his feet? And then what's his clinch game like?
yeah,
You know what you know what I'm saying? I've seen Dave Allen clinch. Dave Allen knows how to survive, especially on his feet.
he's a veteran of the game. He studies
Yeah.
the game. He knows. Yeah, no,
He's a crafty heavyweight.
Yeah, he's crafty, man. He's got some good ring IQ. Like, he knows the plan. Like, he'll discuss what he's gonna do. He's been vocal, and he has another channel. He breaks down fights. Like, he studies the game. He knows. I think he knows the game plan going into this. It's just that I don't know if I trust him the early rounds, because obviously he's dangerous. Like, he was still even with the Guido fight, he was throwing bombs, just trying to land that Hail Mary. And
he's taller. He has he has the longer reach. He throws his punches at awkward angles. It's kind of like, one of those could land and they could do the so yeah. Money play. What's your money play on this fight?
Look, I like the like in a fight that I can make cases for both, but
Yeah.
I tell you, I make the case for Allen here because momentum. I think those were two big wins, at least confidence boosters for Allen. Like, he probably believes in himself. I think the style is somewhat similar, as in you got a lesser skilled but very strong fighter coming in early to try to knock you out, and he could weather that storm, roll with the punches, take him on the inside. And like I said, I like the plus money play on Allen.
So I'm highlighting this comment here Julius makes because we're hearing this a lot from the naysayers from Allen. Watch Dave Price put Allen in the hospital. But my pushback on that, Julius, is that, it's hard. It's kind of easy to forget Dave Allen's only 33 years old. For a heavyweight, that's a young heavyweight. He's been in the game for a long time. When did he knock out Lucas Brown? It seemed like years ago. And people have written him off. It's been well documented. Going to the David Price fight, wasn't really training, eating like shit, out of shape, not taking his career too seriously. I think you have to take that in consideration when we're trying to play like, deductive reasoning and say, well, if this happened, then what do you think this guy's going to do? I don't think you could do that with this fight. I think both guys, even with Makhmadov, like you said, when he got stopped against Guido, I think you got to look at both guys going heads up this weekend as kind of like for what we see, what's in front of us, not so much what we saw in the past.
Yeah, but like with Julius, like that point, like that's noted. I get that, and that's a good reason why I'm not playing this fight heavily, because even though I wouldn't ignore that fight, but that fight did happen. I understand it could happen again. So even though all the points that you made, like, I know this David Allen looks great in shape, right? He's training. I know he's taking this fight seriously. He knows big fights are ahead of him if he wins this. So think we're gonna get the best David Allen possible. But then again, like, I can't really trust him. But for plus money, and Makhmadov is, besides Adjekayevol, we know he doesn't like it to the body. David Allen can crack you to the body. That's why I think this can kind of go sloppy and get drowned late if they're both going to get fatigued. So I don't know. It's one of those. I like the plus money on Allen. I don't know if it goes distance or not, but I'm probably just going to enjoy it because this is an intriguing fight to me. I like these crossroad fights, so I know they're both coming with their best, because it's kind of like, winner's going to go home on this. Like, their career is pretty much going to be obsolete.
There is a storyline too. I mean, it's crazy to think that, remembering when David Allen got stopped against Frazer Clark, he loses his promotional deal. Matchroom lets him go. He fights in literally a gym 2 times smaller than my high school auditorium in Northeast Ohio in front of like 80 people and a couple 4-rounders. Builds himself back up. And then watching the 2 fights against Fisher, you could have, he drops him in the 5th in the first one, loses a split. Obviously, we know he knocked him out in the second. But then Eddie gets into the ring and signs him again. When you're talking about a 33-year-old heavyweight, new father, talks about buying a home, I watch his social media content. I mean, if you give me the most motivated, most prepared, he has a new camp, David Allen, I think he should handle him. And maybe it's a bad read, but that's my reasoning. And then Arslanbek's tape is hard, man. I don't like if you just remove the fact of you just got to avoid his backhand, just circle away from the power, maneuver through these sort of early rounds. I think, and David Allen's a craftier boxer than people think. He knows how to operate in a ring. I like him on the money line. That's my pick for this fight. I'm taking him on the money line. I'm not going to get too sexy with a method of victory.
Yeah. I mean, I threw Allen in a couple like small parlays just because he's at plus money. So I thought it's probably good value if it's a 50-50 fight. And the longer it goes, I think the more chance Allen's gonna be looking better and better.
All right, I want to feature Mar the Prince. He's an Ohio guy. He has a question. It's on the card. We're still staying in the UK in Sheffield. He says, Johnny, ask TJ, does he feel it's too quick of a turnaround for Reese Bellotti? It's been just a little under 3 months since the Ryan Gardner stoppage. Go on, TJ.
Yeah, it's been under 3 months. It's been under 3 months. It was back in, I think, the end of July, maybe July 26th. I remember that because I had.
It seemed like it was like a month ago. It seems like it was a month ago.
Yeah, absolutely. And, this is the thing with that fight, you got 2 fighters trending in different directions. You got one guy in Padley who's looking at possibly getting a world title shot, and you got another guy in Bellotti who's possibly talking about retirement. Like, they couldn't be more opposite ends here. But as far as the fight being too soon, yeah, 3 months. I think that's tough for a fighter that just went 12 rounds, got stopped in the 12th, and took a ton of punishment in the second half of that fight, in a fight that maybe he won 2 rounds. So for Padley isn't Ryan Gardner, so it's completely different styles here. But I think that's tough. That's a tough ask for Reese Bellotti. My main concern with Josh Padley is that he fought in 2004 in September, I want to say, against Mark Chamberlain. That was 140 pounds. Then he went down to 135 against Shakur. Now he's going back down to 130. Like, we usually have this the other way. Fighter starts at 130, goes to 35, goes to 40. He keeps dropping. I don't think he's ever made 130 before. So it's a little bit concerning in the sense that, like, how far can you go before you start, getting too drained to the point that your power doesn't carry, your chin, your punch resistance doesn't carry, maybe your stamina doesn't carry. Like, you're not the same fighter at a certain weight. So that's concerning for me. The 130, I'd feel a lot more comfortable if this was 135.
When you mentioned the differences between styles with how Ryan Gardner fought Bellotti and what to expect from Padley, kind of go into that a little bit.
So Padley's, he's got really good inside game, good ring IQ. What stands out for me with Padley is just his timing, right? He's very good at timing you. He's definitely awkward. He's got a good clinch game. Ryan Gardner, in a sense, he's just all gas, right? He's just nonstop pressure. He's throwing high volume punches. And for someone like Bellotti, like, he just couldn't keep up with that young buck and Ryan Gardner. He was getting outworked. It's going to be different because Padley's going to place his punches, right? He's going to be a little more methodical. He's not going to be as aggressive, as physical, completely on the front foot. It's just a different style.
Do you give him coming down, a little bit younger? I just don't like, how Reese was talking going into the Gardner fight. If we covered that on the channel. I had Gardner. We got Gardner at plus money. The stoppage helped a lot too with taking that pick. But he was talking about it. He said, if I can't beat a guy like Ryan Gardner, I'm going to hang him up. He was like, where I've been in my career, if I can't beat and he doesn't beat him. And then it seems like a couple weeks later, they announced the fight with Padley, and I'm thinking like, what is he fighting for? Like, because you've been around forever. A boxer who's at this stage of Bilatti's career, if you're not fighting to become a champion, what are you fighting for? What are your
Prize fighting,
what,
right? It's money.
what are your intentions?
They must have given him a good check, and Padley gets a name like Bellotti on the record. And
I get that. Yeah.
yeah,
And then
like it's tricky. It's crafty matchmaking by Padley's team, right? Because they're
yeah.
catching Bellotti coming off a beating
because
3 months.
Because Padley's coming off a win. He fought Shakur, lost. People gave him love for getting stopped in the ninth, but he took a fight against the Sertenko or Sertenica or something like that, Mirko, and he's coming off a win. And Bilatti's coming off a loss, and so they're probably let's say Padley gets past Bilatti, he's probably maybe they make the Gardner fight. But what weight class, like you said, the coming down bit. How do you see this going? Off the top. Do you see Ryan or Padley winning a decision?
I don't know. I don't know how much damage carried over from that fight. There's a chance he could get stopped early, Bellotti. Like,
yeah.
Look, there's some similarities. Obviously, Raymond Ford's a southpaw, but this is what I was talking about. Like, Raymond Ford's a little more methodical, right, with his punches, his punch placement. He doesn't just sit on your chest like a Ryan Garner. Like, for me, Padley would be more like a Raymond Ford. And in that sense, I remember that fight very clear because I studied that fight when they announced it, because I was taking Raymond Ford to beat Bellotti. This was all the way back then.
Okay.
And Raymond Ford jumped off the screen at me because he had struggled previously in a few fights. If we remember, Aaron Perez and
he wasn't throwing enough punches. He was before it was before. Yeah, it was before he made that adjustment. Yeah.
He looked phenomenal against Reese, right? Like, Reese didn't even look like he belonged in the ring with him. Like, anyone that wants to watch that fight, he put an absolute masterclass. Like, he just looked not even a levels above. And that was just punch placement, like always being a step ahead, better footwork, better ring IQ. He was stronger. He was bigger, Raymond Ford. And some of that, I think, we could see with Padley. And if Padley can do something that kind of Raymond Ford out into that playbook, I think that's a good way to, and that's just punch placement, timing him. That's what it was. You timing him, walking into shots, because Reese is aggressive. And if you're bigger, have faster hands, have better ring IQ, have better timing, have better footwork, like, you can make this fight a lot easier than it needs to be, or not as hard as it needs to be, if you know what I'm saying. So, there's a way where if he is damaged and Padley is on top of his game, he could stop him, and he could stop him within the first half.
And I made this case earlier in the week on a live stream, this exact prop right here that I've highlighted, guys. Padley by stoppage, $4.40, $100 gets you your money back plus 340. Based off of, my point was, though, it wasn't the odds, it was based off of Padley's timing. I really like his timing, having the speed advantage. And like you said, you mix Padley's timing and punch placement accuracy as well, especially with the straight shots. Mix that with Bellotti coming in on the front foot, not really setting things up, just looking to, for these flurries. You mix that with him having a 12-round tough fight in which he was losing most exchanges against Ryan Gardner. The 440, I mean, I think that's worth a sprinkle when you put it, especially why this fight has been made. It kind of makes me wonder and second guess, though. It's like, damn, dude, is that just like are they trying to trick us here? Because I could see that happening. I could see him getting stopped. I could see Padley stopping Bellotti.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, especially if it was a 12-rounder, it's a 10-rounder.
It's a 10-rounder.
Yeah, so Reese is tough, though, right? Reese is tough. So this is 100%. One of those. Yeah, this is one of those. I don't think, like, if you're gonna tell me you think Padley stops him, I mean, I just made that argument right there. If you think Reese is tough enough, or if you think Reese might win, maybe then go with the distance. Yeah.
And this is,
I like Padley here. Like, everything points to Padley, right? So
yeah,
Padley's trending up. He's and I believe outside of the Shakur fight, his last 3 or 4 fights have all been by stoppage. Chamberlain wasn't a stoppage, but he did drop Chamberlain. But previously to that, he's been on a pretty good KO streak. He's been getting stronger because his first fights weren't by KO. So that is always something you want to look at too. Like, he's been hurting people recently.
Yeah, let's I'm trying to bring it up. real quick, Padley, just to see what he's been up to in his career.
Don't forget too, he took the Shakur fight on like 24 hours notice.
Yeah, here we go. 24 hours notice. Not, good stop to the ninth. And also, Shakur said nothing but great things about him afterwards. Like if Shakur really felt like he was a punk in there, Shakur's not going to give him his props. He would have just been another guy that he would have stopped. But I've heard him multiple times on record give Padley, credit for what he felt that he was giving him. He said he gave him good work. So
yeah. No, I watched the fight. It was good work. He didn't.
Yeah.
He made Shakur work for everything.
So here we go. So if you guys could see up, I mean the screen's a little bit blurry, but yeah, Marcos Vantnich stopped him. He loses to Shakur, wins a decision against Chamberlain, stops Doherty, stops Cherkop, stops Bricknell, and then points at Julio. You're right. 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5, stops. And the only one he could, and Chamberlain, people rate Chamberlain. You know what I'm saying? He's
Chamberlain just had a great fight. Arguably beat Jack Rafferty, who's a legitimate 140 pounder. So
yeah,
put that into context. Like Jack Rafferty's a good fighter, and he's at 140. We're talking about 130 right now, and he dropped Chamberlain. He dropped Chamberlain with a great time. He timed Chamberlain, walked him right into a punch, and dropped him. So
there's an interesting rematch on this fight card as well. Did you do? I know that I've made it a popular topic on my channel because I featured the fight on my Stats Don't Lie breakdown. Did you tape Fawad and Boston?
Oh yeah, of course.
All right, let's get into that. I'm gonna just bring the odds up real quick, and I want to hear your perspective on that real quick, if you don't mind.
Yeah, Janab Boston. I remember that fight live, watching it. And I scored it 6-4 for Fawaz. But if you tell me it's a draw, that's fine. If you tell me Boston won 6-4, that's fine too. What stood out to me was a skilled, flashy boxer in Boston that faded second half. That was, I think, shocked with the hand speed of Fawaz. I thought this was the first time he fought somebody that was faster than him. You can see Boston's got fast hands. He's a fast fighter, right? He's slick. But I thought the hand speed was an issue for him. He was in the physicality. Fawaz was walking through everything. And he kind of just gassed. I thought that second half of the fight was, he's lucky it was a 10-rounder, because if it was a 12-rounder, that was not, the momentum was all one side there the last few rounds. He was taking,
it was really,
yeah.
Boston it was really a tale of two fights.
Yeah. So it gets tricky. I always say this with rematches, right? Because there's so many variables that go in a rematch. How was the first, how was the first fight? What led up to the first fight, and now what may be different in the second fight? I think for Fawaz, he doesn't have to change anything. Like, he doesn't have to make any adjustments. If I'm in his corner, I say do what you did, but start earlier. Just start earlier. Press him earlier, make him feel your power earlier, gas him earlier, and that's it. You don't have to change anything. Obviously, the showboating, you got to stop the showboating. I think that's what cost him the fight. He'd land a phenomenal clean shot that visibly snapped Boston's head back, and then he'd taunt him in the middle of the ring instead of following up on him. He did that like at least 3, 4, 5 times. If I don't like it, I'm sure the judges didn't like it. They'll find any reason when you're the B side not to give you the round, right? So for Boston, he's gonna have to work on his stamina. He's gonna have
that's
to.
What I'm.
Yeah.
But more like that's easy to say, but that's not the easiest thing to do if that's the one adjustment that needs to be made. Because like you said, my point with Fawad is the fact that he just needs to start earlier. He needs to, he's probably going to jump on him in the first, not the fifth. But for Boston, it's like, if your adjustments are you need to not run out of gas, because he fought beautifully in the first. It was the pressure. How do you make the adjustment when pressure is the thing you have to deal with?
Well, I mean, if I'm his coach, I'm telling you, you can't just keep getting walked back into the ropes. His back was on the ropes. You spend a lot of energy, a lot of time trying to fight off the ropes. He's going to have to be, he's going to have to work on how to deal with somebody. And if Fawaz wasn't even dealing that much pressure, Boston's one of those guys who reminds me of like a Cameron Bong from the UK. that, you know, you could tell these guys have a lot of skill. They just have poor game plans, right? Poor management. Sometimes they're not economical with their punches. They waste a lot of energy. They fight with their hands low. So they look like very good boxers. I could tell they were very good amateurs because you could see the first 3 rounds. If that's a 3-round fight, he's winning, right? But these aren't 3-round fights. The same with Cameron Vong against Gavin Gwynn. I said that, and I thought he lost to Gavin Gwynn, who was another pressure fighter, right? These UK prospects have a lot of skill, but when they have to dig down and get into a fight, sometimes, not all of them, but I'm talking these blue chip prospects, you know, they're somewhat falling apart. And I thought he kind of fell apart with Fawaz. So when you tell me the odds, they opened up at plus 300 on Fawaz, I mean, I can't force myself to play Boston thinking he may make an adjustment in a fight I thought he lost the first time. And I don't think he could hurt Fawaz. So
that's
that would
another
have to
thing.
be another thing. Couldn't he has to win on points, or can he hurt Fawaz? Because I didn't see Fawaz bend or buckle that fight. If anything, he was getting stronger. So
I think Fawaz's power bothered Boston for sure, and the pace and pressure. And you know, I think there's a psychological component now. I mean, I probably watched too much of the fight week.
The
you know,
yeah,
I watched
which
too.
were
I watched all.
entertaining. Yeah, they were good, man.
They were good. I watched all the interviews. I'm trying to look, you know, we're trying to look for something. We're architects. Or archaeologists. We're trying to find little fucking holes in the game. And then you start dissecting Fawaz's amazing story. I was telling people on the stream, like, just because he's 36, 37 with 11 pro fights, that's not who this guy is. This guy, you know, was offered $200,000 by Frank Warren in 2014 and couldn't accept it because he didn't have a British passport. And, you know, this guy comes from he's been in the UK for 20 years, and the government pushed back on his immigration status for so long. He couldn't box. He couldn't turn pro. And he had a whole town rallying for him to get his migration status. So people were like, he's going to come in on the B side. He's going to have to knock Boston out to get a victory. I was like, I don't think so, man. He's going to have equally amount of people in that arena in Sheffield cheering for him. He has an amazing story. And so
sometimes, you know, Johnny, sometimes too, when there's controversy in the first fight like that, they shine a magnifying glass on the second fight, and they may be a little more fair with the scoring, right? So if they think, and you know, Fawaz said it in the face-offs, you know I won. He thinks he won. Fawaz thought I won. And obviously there's the controversy going into that. Judges are going to, I think, maybe be a little more fair in the scoring here. So things that keep leading me to saying, look, for me, it's Fawaz would pass. I do like the over. I think the distance is good.
Okay.
So
I mean,
if you're going to make parlays this weekend, I think, personally, I think a lot of the overs are pretty good.
Okay, let's see what we're getting on the over. So the fight go the distance $1.32. That's, I mean, that juices up a parlay if you want to throw it on a parlay. On my book, over and under round betting. So Boston on the money line 142. Will the fight go the distance 132? Other than that, I'm not getting any over under 5.5 or anything. What odds have you seen over unders?
I mean,
was it 5.5?
10-round fight. No, it's 8.5, right? So they're expecting it to go.
Okay.
It to go points like the first fight. So
does your book always stick to a specific over under round? Because down here, sometimes it'll say 5.5, sometimes it'll say 7.5. They kind of, obviously
it's whatever the bookies. It's whatever the bookmaker, what they think. Typically what they think the fight will end the round. So for the standard, say for Boots Ennis, was 7.5. So they're anticipating possibly, if it's 7.5 and it's not 10.5, they're anticipating, you're looking at a knockout between 7 and 9. Yeah, most likely that's what they're kind of saying on that. Then obviously with big fights, you're going to get alternate overs and unders where you can play, but that's the standard that came out first. That's what they had to price that. But for this fight, it was 8.5.
Okay, so for before we move on my earlier stream, people were talking about, I guess there's some really exciting prospects on this British card, and Dave Allen mentioned Joe Hayden He mentioned Joe Howarth, and then some of the boys on the stream mentioned Tudsbury and Suleiman.
Buddy, yeah. None of them are in. This is one thing that bothers me with a lot of matchroom prospect building. They put them in with like knockovers, right?
9-1 underdogs.
Yeah, or more. Yeah, it's like they put them on the card. They don't even try. So they'll build up some of these UK fighters with they'll be 10-0, 15-0 sometimes, and then they face their first Mexican and they fall apart.
That's what we've seen.
Yeah,
we see it happen.
It happens all the time.
We see it happen all the time.
Yeah.
Who's just recently the kid who came from New Orleans? There was a fight that happened last weekend in the UK. I stayed away from it. Who did Steve Collins Jr. fight? Martinez?
Santana. Yeah.
I told Santana opened as a 4 to 5 to 1 dog. I was like, this guy, Steve Collins Jr. should not be fighting. And it's not like Santana is a world beater, but he goes in there. He beat him, didn't he?
Yeah, he beat him. Yeah, Santana. He's from Spain. He's an awkward fighter. He's not great. I mean, Collins Jr. was out on the range for a long time.
Yeah, but the odds are crazy. And then who's the kid from New Orleans? There was a fighter from New Orleans who went to the UK like 2 months ago. He was a huge underdog, and he beats one of their guys.
Sean Hemphill. He beat Mark.
Yeah, Hemphill. Yeah, and this
Hemphill he was a 10-1 underdog. So
10-1 underdog beats Jeffers, and then they pair Jeffers up with we featured him. And Jeffers lost by stoppage, and so. You're right. You bring up a good point. Do you want to move
Will in the chat mentioned the draw. I think that's a good shout. I think that's a good shout for that fight too. For Waz. Yeah, I like that. I like that. The draw on that fight. I mean, look, it was the draw the first time. If you think Boston's going to make adjustments, it's going to be closer. Could definitely be a draw again.
All right, here's a question for you then. In recent memory, off the top of your head, when's the last time we saw a rematch and both fights ended in a draw?
A double draw.
Has it happened recently?
I can't remember. No, that's a good question. I'd have to go back into my notes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but that's where my head goes. That's where my when I'm doing deductive reasoning, I'm like, all right, if the first one ended in a draw, and what are the chances? You know what I'm saying? But that should be a prop bet.
I know for a fact that it's happened recently with lower weight class fighters. I can't put my finger on it. Was it Ioka? Nah, I can't. But it's rare. Obviously, it's rare. But
it's worth a shot.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I think we're let's move to Philly real quick. We're gonna move to Philly. Do you want to start with Boots?
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Wherever you want to go with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna just pull up the card real quick, and just so we can have the current odds up to date, guys. If you're in Australia, this screen right here is Sportsbet. Wherever you are in the world, be sure to like this video. If you haven't already, hit subscribe. There's a link that's pinned in the comments, guys. Join the Discord. It's a couple bucks a month, and we welcome everybody who's tapping in. Right now, we're looking at Boots Ennis versus Usman Lima. The odds currently, this is the main event in the Illadelph. Here we go. And another, the haters are gonna say it's another Boots fight when he's $1.04 favorite. 100 on him on the money line gets your money back plus $4. Talk to me about this fight.
Yeah, I mean, I personally think it's a lose-lose fight for someone like Boots. I don't like. Look, Lima's a good fighter, but only the hardcores know about Lima. Like you, me, the Discord will know. But if you're trying to build Boots into a star, which he should be. Yeah, look, 154 is one of the best divisions, if not the best division in boxing. He could have had probably anybody, whether it was Virgil, he could have fought a Lubin, Josh Kelly, Bakramov, Alexander Zayas. Look, Keith Thurman's there. There's so many great
Fundora.
Yeah, Fundora, and they picked Lima, who, nobody outside of a couple channels are going to know who he is. So this is when I take the lose-lose.
I take that as a compliment, by the way.
It's true. It's true. And he's most known. You know why people know him? Because McKenna beat him.
Aaron McKenna.
Aaron McKenna beat him. So it's he's known for losing to Aaron McKenna.
That's how I know him. Yeah, exactly.
But I'll explain the lose-lose situation real quick. And I said this when Teofimo Lopez picked Steve Claggett. I was like, people don't know Steve Claggett. Everyone saw his record. He's like, who's Steve Claggett? I'm like, yo, Steve Claggett is good, man. Like,
That was a
hardcore
close
Steve
fight,
Claggett.
mate. That was a close fight.
Steve Claggett was on a run. Steve Claggett can fight, man. But this is the problem.
A lot of volume, a lot of pressure, makes it ugly. That was a closer fight than the judges had it.
And that was, to me, a lose-lose, because for Teofimo, someone like Claggett, you see his record, Teofimo's expected to go in there and knock this guy out in 6 rounds.
Yep.
And when he doesn't, and it goes rounds, and Teofimo takes a ton of damage, you see Teo's face. Teo's face has never looked like that. In all his fights, his face was fucked up. And he was forced to throw more and land more than any other fight. So it's like, yeah, he won, but he didn't get accolades for that fight. He got criticism. So that's when I come back to this Lima fight. He's expected to stop somebody like Lima. Like, you think he's going to stop somebody like Lima, put on a great show. Stylistically, he's tailor-made for him. And then what happens if he doesn't? What happens if Lima makes this competitive? What happens if it does go points? He just went 2 fights with Karen point. Like, now all of a sudden that kind of star isn't so shiny anymore. Like, that's why I'm coming with the lose-lose. Like, I hold Lima with respect, but then not the name recognition. Then why don't you just fight somebody with the name recognition and just as skilled, so you get the credit for it at least? Anyways,
well, he wants to fight for belts, right? So we could do the deductive reasoning side of things. When you look at the belts, we know Seb's belt is held up. He's fighting Thurman. We know Xander just got done fighting, and then Virgil's fighting Lubin, and who else? Who am I missing? Murtazaev. What the hell's going? That's a whole nother conversation to have about Murtazaev, by the way. And
you got Abbas Abreu that just beat.
Oh yeah, Abbas.
Yeah. There's so many good. There's so many good fighters on 154, and so stylistically, like, Lima's the type for me most comparable for somebody that Boots has fought before. For me, would probably be Romain Villa, right? Romain Villa, big, strong, heavy hands, comes forward, good volume, just a dog, comes to fight. And that's the type of fight where Boots can style on you, right? Because he's going to have that athletic advantage. He's gonna have pretty much every advantage on you. He kind of treats you like a walking punching bag. But the thing is, like, Lima's bigger than Villa, right? And that I think it took 10 rounds to get Villa out of there, Romain Villa. Lima's bigger. He's gonna be hungry for this fight. He knows this is his one chance to, you beat Boots, like, you're the guy right now at that division. So I think this might be a lot harder than people expect. I don't think we're going to see an early knockout here. I actually, the over set at 7.5. I like the over. I think it's going to go around.
So I got it highlighted. I got follow Mike TV, guys. Follow Mike TV. He's a pro boxer out of the UK. He says, I think Boots stops him at under 9. So my book is giving me the option over under 7.5 all week long. I was loving the $1.89, the over 7.5. If I had to give you the reasoning, Lima's never been dropped before. He's never been stopped. We know his one loss. He took McKenna on 4 days' notice, fought him up a weight class at 160. This is at 54. He is the IBO world champion. The Americans, a lot of people won't consider the IBO as even being anything, but in some parts of the world, that's all they got. They fight for that IBO belt, and he's coming in there with that champion mindset. Boots, when we talk about what makes him great, everybody knows what makes him: athleticism, switches, stances, could crack. But guys, he doesn't have one-punch knockout power. It's not like he's going in there and he's stopping dudes with a straight cross or a hook catching them. He uses that volume. He kind of breaks you mentally. He angles you, and then you get kind of swarmed. And this is what he does. But power, I expect him, we know he killed himself to make 47. I expect the power to be there, but my biggest question is, when we go up in weight, is will the speed be there? Like, will we see that same reflexes, the same countering, the same precision? Because my favorite thing about Enes is how he has the skills to fight you either in the pocket or at range, his versatility with his offense. And we'll see if he does waste a lot, though. He has a lot of wasted movements, and we've never seen his rig, his physicality at 54 going deep. So we'll see, man. I think there's a lot of questions. And one of my sneaky prop bets of the week, guys, if they've been listening to me all week, it's actually Boots by decision at 450. Like if I have to take Boots by stoppage at 126, and I'm not betting thousands on this bet, but if you're sprinkling $50 on this fight and you want an entertaining sort of option, why not take Boots or the over? I would go heavy on the over 7.5 at $1.89. I love that bet. That's probably my favorite option on this fight is the over 7.5 at $1.89.
Yeah, I think Lima's gonna fight for your money here. I don't think he's gonna go down easy. I mean, yeah, that's tough. That's tough. There's a lot of question marks there, but I think Lima. I think it's gonna go later. I think it's gonna go later.
So they're trying to get Gary. Rando just hit me. Rando's on the live stream here. He says that Gary's trying to.
Gary 3D, jump him on. Yeah.
How do I do this, guys? Hold up. So I just take the link I sent you and send it to Gary?
Yeah, probably.
All right.
Give me one moment. I'm just going to grab some water. Hold on.
Yeah, go grab some water. Rando Light, if you're messaging Gary, tell him I'm going to send him the link real quick. So, copy link. Where's G at? Boxing Brothers. Here you go, G. The big fella. Yo, G. All right, Rando, I just hit him up. Guys, wherever you're tuning in, put a thumbs up, like this video. If you're with G right now, tell him that I just sent him the link. If he clicks that link, he should be able to jump on. And I thought Gary was in Philly. I thought he should have been on a plane by now to head to Philly because he's going to the fights. Man, that's the one thing I miss the most about living in America is, man, you guys, when you leave America, and I know you've traveled the world before, you realize that like a 3-hour flight is not far at all. You know what I mean? Like you guys get all the big fights. I gotta wait like twice a year to get a big fight down here.
Yeah, there's not too many fights in Australia. No. I'm back trying to bring some over there, but
nah, dude. So I know this is a compliment to the strategies of how you go about your betting and where you put your money at. Where do you see if we're all a team here, our best opportunity? Which fight is it? Which prop is it? Where do you think that, like, if somebody wanted to go heavy on one of these fights this weekend, what fight is it?
What fight? Good question. The most tape I did was for the Alexis Beret and Guido Vianello fight. What's up, G?
G's on.
Let me yeah, we're good. How do I share this? Hang on.
G's always doing G, this is late for you. You're always doing like 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah, I'm in Philly. You coming to fight tomorrow, bro?
What's that?
You coming to fight? It's not far from you. You coming?
Nah, I don't go to Philly. No.
You don't go to Philly.
An hour and a half away.
Yeah.
That's in Texas, an hour and a half. That's around the corner. All right, no Philly.
Why don't you go to Philly?
Nah, I'm just breaking balls.
Okay.
We don't. Yeah.
There we go. That's better.
Because it's a hellhole. Like, it's not a nice city anymore.
The last time I've been to Philly was 2001. I'm not going to tell you where I was working. They had the King of Prussia Mall. Is that still nice?
I don't know. I know where it is. I mean, it's been 20 years since I've been there. I'm going to end my stream. I'm going to jump on with you.
Okay. Because we're live right now. And I know.
I was live too. I was live talking to you.
Okay. Beautiful. Right. So we were just talking about Boots and where the money pick is regarding method of victory, Boots versus Lima.
I love the stoppage. Lima's in front of you to be hit. Like, there's no way. I don't see any way Lima goes the distance.
Yeah.
I got it at minus 390. It's not terrible.
So will the fight? You mean just Boots by stoppage?
I got Boots by stoppage at minus 390. That's what I got on my book.
Yeah. So he $1.26. 100 gets you your money back plus $26.
Yeah.
You like that? I don't know if that's enough juice for me to play.
It's not bad. Like I would parlay it with Smalls on the money line. What would that get you?
Okay, let's do it.
Look,
Do you like
I
Smalls?
like the over. I like the over. I mean, unless you think it's going to be an early knockout. I know.
It
Who
might
was
be.
it? He hit someone behind the back of the head, almost by the ear. The black kid from Canada. Was that Custio Clayton? I remember that was like a first or second round knockout. Yeah, where he just threw a perfect shot, caught him behind the ear, and that was it. Other than that, Johnny was saying like it's typically he's a break you down kind of guy, and for me, who I compared Lima to the most, Gary, was Romain Villa. I want to say he's Venezuelan, from Venezuela. I think he's from.
I think Venezuela, somewhere in Central America. Yeah.
But he's kind of almost one-dimensional, but very tough, heavy hand, strong, big for the weight. But he was kind of a punching bag in that fight for Boots. But that still went 10 rounds, right?
Yeah.
And now you're getting a bigger version of Villa and Lima, a guy that's never been stopped. He's undefeated. I always give somebody an extra credit when they're undefeated because they're going in with the mentality, the
Lima's
mindset,
not undefeated.
Like, I can't lose.
Lima's not undefeated.
No. Oh yeah. No, but I'm sorry, not undefeated. He lost to McKenna.
He lost to McKenna. He lost every round.
Had never been.
Yeah.
You took that on late notice, but I meant had never been down, never been stopped. So for you to know that, you can't be stopped.
But he's never been with a real puncher either. Not at a high level. He's never been with a high level puncher.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. And I don't consider McKenna a high level puncher.
No, I don't think McKenna's bad. He's just not a big puncher.
Yeah.
It was at 160. He's gonna be.
Yeah, Boots is not a big 54. So this is going to be Lima's going to be the bigger guy in the ring. I think that's for sure.
So you were comparing. See, TJ was comparing Lima's style to Villa. When I was breaking the tape down in terms of like his offensive setups, how he enters the pocket, I saw a lot of Stanionis, not necessarily keeping it here, but what he wants to do, the narrative of the fight that Lima wants. I think he is tailor-made for Boots. I think he's tailor-made for the Boots that we saw at 47 to get stopped. I'm just questioning Boots. Will the speed, the countering, the reflexes, will all that be the same with 3.5-pound weights in each hand? You know what I mean? Because 7 pounds is 7 pounds, and I know we don't like sit.
But you also go to the bigger gloves now. You also go to 10-ounce gloves now.
10-ounce gloves. But I mean, what's Boots' strength for his 90% knockout to win ratio? It's not like a Deontay Wilder knockout to win ratio. His strength is catching guys, volume guys, speed, reflexes, sort of thing.
You're right. He catches you in the same way that Roy Jones Jr. caught you. You know what I'm saying? It's the speed that kills. It's the angle. It's hitting you flush on the chin, on the temple, and you never see it coming. Right? Like just one punch power. It's probably not massive, but it's good enough when you factor in the speed and the angles that he hits you with. He hits you clean and he hits you violently like this. He throws them hard and he throws them fast. I don't see how Lima is going to stand in front of him for 12 rounds and make it to the final bell.
He doesn't have a lot of head movement. He doesn't slip a lot. He doesn't do a lot of feints. Yeah, he's pretty basic with his setups. It's definitely true.
I mean, look, Matchroom didn't make this fight for Boots to get a 12-round decision. That I know. Stylistically, Lima, they want him to get introduced to 154 with a highlight reel knockout. I know that. So, and I get what Gary's alluding to. Obviously, if he's gonna, pick the KO at that price, that's what the books think is gonna happen. Also, I just think that the KO comes later. I like the 7.5.
I like the my plays. The over too is $1.89.
Okay, so give me your prediction. What round? Because I said between 6 and 8, and the over and a half is 7.5. So I'm right in the middle. I don't like. I said in the middle between 6 and 8. What round would you say he stops him? If you had to pick a round, what round would you pick? I would say 7.
I thought it was going to be closer to 9 or 10. I like I said with Romain Villa. I think it's going to be similar. Yeah. Where it's just Lima can take what if Lima does not feel the power of Boots, and he's fine with taking the shots. Some guys are like that. Some guys, you know what? It's just a long night. Look, he's nothing like Karen. Like, we know Karen has the footwork. He sticks and moves.
Yeah,
Lima's going to
totally
be there
different.
to be hit. It's just how much punishment is he going to be able to take?
And then again, I mean, Ennis has never. Go on.
If Lima wasn't the much bigger guy, like I think he's going to be noticeably bigger in the ring. If he wasn't like the noticeably bigger guy, I would say I would bet it would be a short night. But he'll probably be able to withstand it. So I think he may last. But if he was more a natural 147, like you go back, like you said, Clayton, Delorme, Lipinets, none of those guys are a break. You think he's big?
Boots is big. I think
I've been next to Boots, and I've been next to Devin. I would say Devin's bigger.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think he's. Yeah. Like some guys, like Danny Garcia. He doesn't look that big on TV, right?
Here's them facing off.
You stand next to Danny Garcia. They don't look much different in size. That's
They don't look that much different, do they?
Yeah. No, they don't. You're right.
Boots looks even. I would even say Boots looks bigger there.
Boots looks a bit bigger. I mean, it's hard, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Also in sweatshirts too. Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting. We can overthink it. I think our gut should say if you. Here's the thing, guys. If you really believe, and this is going to come down to what we see our whole time watching boxing for decades. If you believe Jaron Ennis is that dude, the next guy to carry the torch for American boxing, he should stop. He should stop him. So bet this. You know what I'm saying? It's just that how quick is he going to go about his work? How sharp is he going to be? How we know he's going to take risks. We know he gets touched though. He doesn't mind getting touched. So he should stop this guy. I think he should overwhelm him and stop him. To answer your question, I got it between 8 and 10.
Would you be shocked? Would it shock you Sunday? They say Lima went 12 rounds.
I would be very surprised. Shocked. I'd be very surprised. Very surprised. Here's what, okay. We're talking about if Boots is the next big thing, right? So here's my question: was Keith Thurman ever the big thing?
Great resume.
No,
he has some good names.
No, right? No, you can't find it, right? Who's actually better, Keith Thurman or Boots? Probably Thurman, right? But it's comparable.
Yeah, I still got to see more from Boots. I mean, Boots.
Thurman's
coming off his best win. He looked phenomenal in his last fight, but
Thurman. I mean, he beat Guerrero. He beat freaking Danny Garcia.
Danny Garcia, Sean Porter.
Sean Porter. Sean
3 wins in a row, and then he's just took 5 years off.
Those are. Do you think that Thurman is a Hall of Famer?
No, to me it's like Kawhi Leonard. Like he's so good, there's just not enough. There's not enough body of work. Like there's just not enough.
Wow.
Is he a Hall of Fame talent? For sure. It's just because we're talking about he's got 3 good wins. Is that enough to put you in a Hall of Fame? Caiazzo, Garcia, and Porter. Is that enough?
Guerrero's a good win. You don't think Guerrero's a good win?
He's over Robert Guerrero.
Yeah.
He's not over Robert Guerrero.
Let's.
No, he's got to win over Riverside Rocky. What's his name? He never fought Guerrero. He fought
We'll pull it up. Why do I remember actually seeing Thurman versus Guerrero?
He didn't fight Guerrero.
Only because I always thought that Robert stole my boy Pavlik's nickname, and I'm like, what the hell? There's only one ghost, baby. Yeah, there we go. No, he beat Robert Guerrero.
When did Keith Thurman fight Robert Guerrero?
He fought Robert Guerrero March 2015, March 7th, 2015. I remember watching that fight.
I don't even remember this a little bit.
Mayweather fought Guerrero.
Yeah. He won a unanimous decision March 7th, 2015, a decade ago.
Oof.
You see? So he has wins over Guerrero. He has wins over Sean Porter. He was the first guy. Wasn't he the first guy to beat Danny
I don't
Garcia?
even vaguely remember this fight.
you know, wins
That was
over
right
Mario
before the
Barrios.
Castro fight. I don't even vaguely remember this. Yeah.
Yeah. Leonard, even
Josecito Lopez, that's who I was thinking of.
You know, first guy to beat Bundu, first guy to beat Danny Garcia. I think people sleep on Keith Thurman, man. You guys, I think Keith Thurman is a fringe Hall of Famer.
No, I think Thurman is great, but you said I don't think he has the resume to be in the Hall of Fame. Like the resume is it's better. So it's Guerrero, Caiato, Porter, Garcia.
Okay.
Mario Barrios.
He beat Mario Barrios too, a current champion.
Beat him there too.
So he did.
I mean,
Pacquiao beat him too, and he's 47. Yeah.
Thurman beat Porter.
Okay. Here, so Janalo Hernandez never made it in the Hall of Fame. You get one Hall of Fame vote: Janalo Hernandez or Keith Thurman. Who gets it?
I mean,
Janalo Hernandez's resume is so much better. Keith Thurman's probably better in the ring, but he just the 5-year layoff doesn't help his case.
Guys, so Jake Bellinger, I want to feature Jake Bellinger real quick. Shout out, Johnny says Boxing Insider. Guys, if you haven't already, that link is pinned in the comment section below. A couple bucks a month gets you access to the Discord. Plus, you get featured on these live streams with savages like Gary from 3D and TJ from Chilltown. Jake says, the Guido breakdown. Boys, let's get into it real quick. Guido Vianella, I'll bring the odds up in a second, taking on Alexi Barea. So, how do you boys see this one going?
I like Guido for the upset in that. I think Alexei Barrera, for me, the big difference between him and Guido, hand speed sticks out to me, and foot speed. I think Guido's gotten a lot better. Where Guido struggles is when someone's pressing him. Like, I remember Kingsley Abea was all over him. He struggled there. He got much better since that fight. But if you give him some time and some space, Guido's going to get the jab and the right hand off on you. And
yo, boys, sorry to interrupt. We eating. I'm sorry. I did a cheeky degenerate 2-leg on Thursday Night Football and just got an alert that we hit. Anyway, my bad.
What we got, Giants and Eagles?
I did Cam Scatbo to score, and then
there you go.
I took Cam Scatbo and punk-ass Dallas Goedert both to score. Goddard scored 4 touchdowns in 3 games, and he was at 450 to score a touchdown. I'm like, sprinkle.
Johnny, you're a degenerate.
I'm a football.
You're only a degenerate if you lose. If you win, you're a shark.
You can still be degenerate if you win.
I'm a football guy.
You're degenerate if you lose.
I'm a football guy. Sorry to interrupt you, man. But this is the important shit. Guido, TJ, go on, man. My bad.
Yeah.
You were talking about hand speed. You were talking about Guido, this version of him.
Yeah. So Guido, I thought against FA, I thought he looked very good against FA. FA, who improved drastically. That was not the same FA that fought Frank Sanchez. But FA Ajagba was actually on a very, very good win streak. He had fought an undefeated Big Shot Shaw, which was a great win. He fought Zan Kasabuski, which was like a boogeyman. No one wanted to fight him. He ended up hurting Zan Kasabuski, pretty much stopped him, but it was a DQ. And then he beat your guy from Australia. Who's that? Goodall. Yeah, bro. He was on the most momentum that he could possibly have when he fought Guido. So Guido fought the best version of F.A. Ajagba, and that fight was virtually a draw. So I scored a 6-4 Ajagba, but I could have saw a 5-5. I know it was a split, but really, that was one of those fights where I picked F.A. to win. I was nervous the entire time because I was so impressed with how much Guido had advanced from his fight with Kingsley Abea all the way up into F.A. And then he had the fight with Makhmedov. Look, that's another one where he opened up as a plus 200 underdog against Makhmedov. Completely outboxed and outfought Makhmedov, right?
I bet him on that too. I bet him on that. I think it was more than 200. Yeah, he was a big dog enough, which I didn't really understand.
Richard Torres, though, but Richard Torres is tough, man, because there's not really any heavyweight that's going to fight like he's
my favorite American heavyweight. Kiki Torres is my favorite.
That doesn't say much, Johnny.
He's awkward.
American heavyweight.
Yeah, who's your second favorite?
Who's Joshua Edwards?
Who's your second favorite? Yeah.
Joshua Edwards is my second favorite.
I know. I'm just.
There you go. Shout out to the Texan.
It's the state of American boxing right now.
I know, dude. The heavyweight division is suspect right now.
Yeah. But my point is, I think Guido there was a time where Guido was probably overrated, and now I think there's a time where Guido's underrated. Right?
I can't believe he's a dog here. I cannot believe
I don't see why. I texted with Chilltown with TJ about this. I didn't get it. Like, why is he?
There's a ton of tape. There's a ton of tape on Alexa Ferrari. He was. Yeah. It says he's inactive in 2024, but he actually took 2024. Yeah, but he took the year off because he was fighting for the Olympic trials, right? And there's tape out on that. And then all the other fights that he's been in have been against, I don't even want to call it, I guess, club fighters. Are they journeymen? They're club fighters. Like, there's no one that really.
He's got to fight against a guy who's about 150 pounds overweight, who's trying to quit as soon as the fight starts, right? And then he's got another fight where in the first round, and the guy hurts his knee, and the fight's over, like he lays down. He's got some weird fights, man. He's got some really weird fights if you watch him. I don't think his knockout percentage is a true indicator of his power. Like, because he's got some, like, those are 2 stoppage wins. One's a guy who's like 350 pounds who's trying to quit. Like, it's obvious he's trying to quit. And the other is a guy, he hurts his leg and he has to, he stops. It's like, it's weird, man.
Look, this is the thing, though. I like what I see with Alexis as far as he's a good counterpuncher. He has good punch variety. Like, he's compact. Like, there's certain things that I really like about Alexi as a southpaw. He does, I think, carry power. I think the knockout ratio, obviously, it's against 2, so it's kind of inflated what his power may be. For me, it's not that he's not good or not good. For me, it's just a style. It's a style issue here. Because from what I've seen with Alexi Barrera, he likes to box, right? He doesn't really press fighters. When he's had fighters in trouble, I said he doesn't have the killer instinct where he could have thrown a 3 or 4 punch combination and got the fighter out of there. He doesn't do that. And that's where Guido struggles when someone's pressing him and trying to force the fight out of him. If you give Guido space, which I'm anticipating this is how the fight's going to go down, Guido's going to be having the faster hands. He's going to stick the jab, the right hand, and move. He's going to be stealing rounds off of you and hurting you. He's going to be landing the right hand on the southpaw. So, I mean, I like Guido here. I still don't know why he's the underdog. He's still the underdog in bucks. And on top of that, he's going to have the size advantage. He's going to be bigger. This is the first time Alexa Barrera is fighting someone that's bigger than him. He's going to be taller, have a longer reach, and he's going to have weight. He'll probably have at least 10 pounds on Alexa Barrera. There's a lot to go in favor of Guido here. And Guido's got a chin. He's got a hell of a chin on him. So, like,
he does. Yeah.
For me, I like Guido. I think it could go distance. I like the distance. I think Guido could stop him too. I think it could go there.
That's right. But I'm not going to get greedy with it. Guido's paying even money. I got a plus 100. That's good enough for me. I'm not going to try to get too cute with the stoppage or the decision. I'm just taking
6-10. I saw 6-10 pay plus 600. Which, if he stops him, I think it's going to be in the second half of the fight, just from accumulation, right? So,
there's a couple Canadian blokes in the Discord. They sent me a message about how it's sort of like an underlying narrative about Alexi fighting in Canada purposefully with small rings. Have you guys heard anything about this? How whoever is managing his career will sort of like petition his opponents to agree on like a sort of like that ring we saw, that weird Top Rank card in New York like 6 months ago.
Yeah, I was out there. That was weird. I got there. I'm like, am I tripping or is this ring a shoebox? Like what?
So that being said, so that being said, to piggyback off of what TJ just said, I think Alexi is great in every round for 30 seconds. The film I watched, every first part of the round, he gets on his front foot, pushes his opponent back. He's accurate with his shots, and he looks technical. But then he starts falling apart and then winging shots, and it's just like, I just think Guido's class. I think the bookies have this wrong for sure.
He drops his hands a lot too. Like the Alexis highlights look good, but when you watch the complete round,
the whole thing, you put the tape up on the Discord.
Because you were telling me like you think he's got skill.
He does have
Like,
skill. He's not
like 30
very
seconds.
small level though. Like I don't see it. Like I don't see it. It's like when you tell me these Eddie Hearn British guys have skills. Like they know how to box, okay, but like that's not going to carry the day. Like we can say what we want about Guido. Guido's a world-class fighter. He's a world-class heavyweight. This guy is not.
I think so too. I think I agree with you on that. I think the odds makers have it wrong here.
All the odds makers on all the books, they opened Alexa Pereira as the favorite. He's the
and they haven't shifted.
It's a matchroom card. But
boys, they haven't even shifted though. They've stayed the same.
No, it's shifted. He was.
Have they?
They're almost evens now. Yeah.
I got Guido plus 100 and Alexa's at like minus 120.
Yeah,
let's have a look. Let's have a look at this. Here's Guido.
This is like this guy was trying to quit from the time the fight. This is the fight I'm talking about. The guy was 100 pounds overweight. He was trying to quit as soon as the fight started. He was trying to get out of it.
Doesn't look good here, does he? So this is on Guido's Instagram, mind you, and this is pinned. So that means that psychologically we know. So this is Guido pinning. This is pinned on his Instagram.
Guido put this up for Alex Pereira?
No, my bad.
All
this is pinned on Alexis Pereira's Instagram. So he's basically saying, look, guys, this is me.
Like he threw him down there.
I don't even know who that fighter is. Like
it doesn't look good.
He's a Mexican guy. They didn't even put his weight because
I know who he is. Yeah, but like I don't know who he is. You know what I'm saying?
I guess this was I guess this was on the undercard of Hitchens Kambosos. Allegedly. That's what it says here. Let's see one more. Let's see if we can get one more. It's not good, man.
Like use that as your mixtape. Like, does that look impressive to you? Did he look like a good fighter to you there?
That's the only one you're gonna find though. Everything else, as you can see, is just him kind of hitting the pads. That's the only highlight on his Instagram. And I mean, you can make what you want about that, but goddamn, let's see what this is. His walkout probably nothing. I mean,
nothing fight related. I mean, look, for me, Vianello is athletic. I think that's one of his best gifts is his athleticism. He comes from an athletic family, and he's gotten, progressively better. He's just getting better. Obviously, the Ricky Torres fight is just a hard style for him. But look,
I gotta be honest, man. I took Kiki to stop him, and I lost. I thought Kiki was gonna blow him out, and he didn't. He survived, and that actually impressed me.
It's also to note, like in the amateurs, he fought Makhmedov and got stopped. And I remember this was an argument because I have this all the time. Like the amateurs and the pros are almost two different sports here. I was like, because people were going to take Makhmedov watching the amateur footage of him stopping Guido. But I'm like, Guido's improved. And not only did he improve, like he drastically improved because from stopping a guy in the amateurs to then in the pros, winning every round, outboxing him and outbeating him, outfighting him.
Guys, does Guido beat Dave Allen?
Oh, for sure. I wouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he?
I think Guido's a world-class fighter. I think he's a world-class heavyweight.
Then why? How's he the underdog here then?
Because Alex Pereira, he's the unknown. He's the matchroom fighter. He's undefeated. That's why he's supposed to. They're putting him in it. They're testing him early, obviously, because I think he's 30, right? He's not a young prospect. Like they need to move him fast. If he's
132. Yeah, I think 132, 131. I want to give Mar the Prince. He recently changed his name to Mar. Mar the Prince is a Johnny Says Boxing Insider. We're going to feature his question. He says, "Hey boys, how do you guys see Tamir Smalls Vasquez going?" The reason why I'm featuring this, not just because Mar is a G and he's from Ohio, but I know that Tamir Smalls, Gary's featured this fight. When I was seeing these odds initially, boys, at the beginning of the week, I thought these odds were a little bit outrageous. I don't think that Australia has Vasquez as a 5-1 dog here. Did you guys tape this?
Yeah.
What's your opinion on it?
I think Smalls is the truth. I'll let TJ go on it, but I don't love the price on it, but I think Smalls is the truth. Go ahead, TJ.
I don't like the price on Tamir Smalls. I think it's going to be competitive. Is Tamir Smalls better than Hackett?
Yeah.
Hackett?
Yeah. I never thought that highly of Hackett. I think really highly of Tamir.
You think he's better than Hackett?
I never got that big. I was never that high on Hackett though.
Yeah, Roman's got a tough. I mean, he's got a tough style. He's a good boxer. He's gonna have a size advantage there, at least a height advantage, right? He's big.
5-1 underdog is insane to me.
Yeah, I think. I also think this is gonna go. I think this is gonna go points. I think
so too. I would bet points. I don't think Smalls are gonna stop him, but.
Boys, Tamir on points is plus money.
Yeah.
I know.
Is that Gary? Is that your move?
His most recent. Yeah, I think Smalls on points.
Who has Smalls fought though? Who? Clarence Booth. Well, he needs somebody. What I noticed, he really needs somebody to be in front of him. If someone's moving, he doesn't. He's not covering ground quickly. That's what I noticed.
He also beat an undefeated prospect on a pro box. Not a pro box, on a Red Out card on the zone.
Here's your boy.
Last year.
Here's your boy.
I forget.
Okay. So he's coming off a win against Clarence, but he beat Nicky Bascomi from Bahamas. He beat the Bahamian Nicky Bascomi.
No, there was a fight that was close though. He went 10 rounds with somebody.
It was an undefeated guy. It was a guy I never heard of. Sean Martin. There you go.
Yep.
Yeah. It was competitive.
What's his best win?
But that was an undefeated. That was an undefeated guy. Yeah.
So why do you like Tamir Smalls then so much in general? You think he's that dude? Gary?
Yeah. I think the fight's competitive. I have a minus 750 on my book. I don't know what you guys have. That's probably too wide. But I don't see on any planet that he doesn't win this fight, and he doesn't win it convincingly. Like it probably goes the distance, but it's not close.
Chato is 14-1. He's going to be the bigger guy. He's physically bigger. 6'2". That's a big guy fighting in this division.
I saw the match from Face-Off there. Yeah, he's going to have, and he likes to use his jab. He can. I
mean, he's like I said, he won a close fight against Jaleel. Miguel Colon lost to Cesar France.
Good. Jaleel Hackett's good, man.
I think Hackett's good for sure.
I put Jaleel on same par with Tamir Smalls. That's what I'm saying. So for me, I can't justify then after seeing that fight paying that much for Tamir Smalls because it's a heavy price for me. I like the distance at plus money.
Gary, is that the move? Take Tamir on points.
Just to go distance.
I think so. Yeah, I like Tamir. I like Tamir on points.
Okay, so fight to go the distance, $1.82. Let's go. So you're thinking that Vasquez will be tough enough to hang.
Okay.
What is it? It's a 10-rounder?
Yeah, it's 10 rounds. It's 10.
Okay.
Did you guys think that did you guys think that that Vasquez beat Hackett in that fight? Do you think Hackett lost? Or do you think it was a hometown decision in Puerto Rico?
I thought Hackett won the fight.
I thought it could have been a draw.
It was very close. Yeah, it was very close.
It was close. Did you guys tape this one? Shout out to Vasily Wilkins.
Yes.
Wilkins is
James Wilkins is my boy. I love James Wilkins. The odds on this are wild. Like I can't bet on. If I'm gonna bet on this, I'm gonna bet Wilkins at plus 1,000.
I also like that fight to go distance. Wilkins is tough.
The odds on that are wild. Plus 1,000. That's what I got on my book.
So we got it down here in Australia. Holy, yeah, 100 on Wilkins to win. You get your money back plus 1,300.
Yeah,
that's insane.
This kid, Giorgio, he fights. He's got that another highly rated UK prospect, but he fights with his hands down a lot, right? So, and he's a lot more athletic than the level of opposition that he's been fighting, right? A lot quicker, could stick and move, but eventually you're gonna have to fight with your hands up. You're gonna come into somebody maybe like Wilkins that can bang it out, that can cover ground, and is not looking to be cute with you. He's looking to fight. Like Wilkins comes to fight. He's a fighter, and he's got good punch selection. He's got good combinations. So unless Vasili's just like a level or two above him, this could virtually be very competitive. And
I'm putting money on Wilkins. Not a lot. I don't think Wilkins is going to win, but at plus 1,000, I got to bet on him. Like, that's insane to me. So I'm putting money on Wilkins.
I watched this fight. He had a fight in Australia against a Mexican. Very random fight, Wilkins. It wasn't that long ago, but I watched that fight recently, and I thought he beat the Mexican. That was maybe a year ago. It was. I don't know what card that was, but it was in Australia. The fight.
Was it in Australia? Because we're looking if
Was
that clears up.
I don't have the box right there.
It's up right now.
I don't know what. No, I don't know what country it is. That's not Australia. That's a different. Cayman Islands. I'm looking at the flag. I see the fight.
Cayman
Okay.
Islands.
So yeah, the Cayman Islands. He
The
fought.
flag kind of looks like your flag. Yeah.
Oh, Alan Montiel.
Alan
He fought-
Rodriguez.
He fought. He lost a split decision against Montiel. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, Montiel.
You know,
Yeah,
if you look at all of
Yeah, I don't know why I thought
If you look
Australia.
at all of
Because
his
the fight
losses, all
before
three
he
of his
fought in
losses-
the UK. He fought in the UK. The fight before that.
He's
I knew
lost
he
all
fought
B
overseas.
side. He's lost all decisions on the B side.
Yeah, but
So
he could
is this
fight.
guy good? Is Wilkins good?
Yeah,
He's not.
he could fight.
He was signed with Golden Boy briefly, and then he lost to Cotto's fighter, and they dropped him. He's not bad. Like, he could win this fight. If he wins, I wouldn't be surprised, which is why I'm betting on him. He's probably not going to win, but if I was making a book, I'd have him at like minus 210, not minus 1,000. Like, that's
This
wild
is
to me.
Vasoli's best opponent. I'll tell you right now. This is his best.
By far, by far.
All right, talk to me about Vasoli. Like, why? I don't trust UK prospects until they get. I don't have a lot of good luck falling in love with UK prospects. Right? They step up, and they never, for me at least, in the last 5 years, they don't really pan out. Why is Vasoli
It's
being
because they're
propped
not
up?
fighters. It's because they're boxers, not fighters. I don't
Some
mean
of
that to
them
be
do.
like.
Ahmad Shiraz, Adam Azim, Dalton Smith.
Sorry, there are some, but mostly they stay on the outside. They don't set things up. They just look to fire. They throw a combination and then get out. They throw a combination and they're not in there digging to the body, trying to break you down, trying to slow you down, setting things up. They're just like in an amateur style. They're just looking to score more than you score. And
Vasoli's a little more offensive though. Like but this is the thing. If you're going to be offensive with Wilkins, like Wilkins loves that fight. Wilkins comes to fight. He's a good fighter. That's why. I don't know. I think I think the odds are off on that. I don't think by round 2 or 3 he's going to look his price. That's how I look at odds. Like, is he going to look his price during this fight?
He's going to be in a fight for sure. Yeah.
So, do you think it goes the distance?
I like the distance.
$1.52. I mean, that's 50% return right there. $5,000 on a $10,000 bet.
I like to go the distance.
Okay? So you don't see him going in there and stopping Wilkins.
No, I mean, what are you getting? Like to me, I'm just taking Wilkins. Like I could hedge it with something, but a plus 1,000. I'm betting Wilkins. Like there's something to stop him doing that.
Vasoli's more offensive than like the prospect Cameron Vong or Justin or Boston, Junaid Boston. Vasoli, he's a different fight. Yeah, he's a fighter. Yeah, he will fight. Vasoli will fight, right? He's got cute hand speed, cute footwork. He knows the ring, but he could fight. Like, he's a very good fighter. The issue now here, because he will fight, is that Wilkins fights. Wilkins is a good inside fighter. He's got good punch combinations. Like, I think Wilkins is somewhat underrated. In his 2 losses, well, the one loss against the Mexican, I watched that fight. I didn't think he lost. His 2 other
3
losses are
could
against
have gone the
very
other
good
way.
fighters. Who is one
That could have went the other way. I thought I was at the fight when he fought Cotto's guy Chevalier. I thought he won that fight.
Brian Chevalier is a very good fighter. Very, very.
Yeah, I thought Wilkins beat him
for a world title. I thought recently, right?
Yeah.
No, this is a big step up, and I don't know. It's going to be. I think it's great matchmaking. I think it's going to be a great fight. Way closer than the odds.
Any other fights, boys? What something we didn't get to? Do you want to, Gary? What's your upset of the week?
Well, Allen by stoppage and Guido on the money line. But you want something crazy? Wilkins, bet on Wilkins. I'm not saying Wilkins. I'm not locking Wilkins up as a winner. I'm just saying at plus 1,000, that's too good not to bet on. Put something on it.
Gary,
on a standalone. All right,
Gary.
But what if you're trying to juice? Go on, TJ.
I was gonna say, would you be surprised if Allen wins on points? Would you be surprised if that fight goes the distance?
I wouldn't be shocked by it, but I wouldn't bet on it, right? Like if you said it's an even money bet, what are you betting on? I'm betting on it not to go the distance. I'm a bet on like TJ. Let me ask you, make a prediction on that fight. Like who wins and by?
Yeah, we covered that earlier. I think it's big plus money on Allen on points. That's why I was saying.
Allen on points. Okay.
Yeah, no. I'm saying I think there's a lot of value in that. I think the value, I mean, first of all, I'm not really betting that fight. I'm not heavily betting that fight because the two heavyweights that are lower level, and there's so many different variables.
Dangerous.
Oh
yeah.
But you guys give me dude, I'm taking this is just on the money line. You give me Allen at plus money. It's 50-50 right now, $1.96. Guido, and then Belal Fawaz. Those three together. I mean,
put all three of them together.
That's what I'm doing too.
Just because the odds are.
Let's add it up.
Odds are ridiculous.
The odds are ridiculous, man. Why not sprinkle something on these three? So, and these are just money line. Like, it's very. When's the last time we walked into a boxing weekend and saw this many sort of 2-to-1 fights live that could go to the?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Super live. Yeah, super live.
It's been a while. It's been like 2 months, maybe 3 months. There was a card, I think. Maybe in May, if I remember, if I look at my handwritten notes. But it's been a while. It's been kind of like a lot of these wide front runner odds makers. So so you put this is down here in Australia. Fawaz is $3.15. Dave Allen's $1.96, and then you put Guido $2.10. Those three together, mate. 13-1. 100, 12-1. 100 gets you your money back plus 1,200. I mean, you can't ask for it. In each
you might as well just bet on Wilkins then. Like that's going to get you the same return as just betting on Wilkins.
Or you throw Wilkins on it and see what time it is.
Then it's just a lottery ticket. That's
181. Then it's a lot. I like that. Then it's a lottery ticket. $100 gets you 18,000.
There you go. What? Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So
why not? What are we talking about here? $100 gets you 18,000. Let's go.
Well, you can just donate the money to charity and you'd be doing good with it, right? Like now you're just burning it.
What do you think? Which one would you be most stressed about on this one? Which fight?
Well, Wilkins is probably not going to win. I'm just saying it's good value. Like,
yeah. I mean, we've seen it happen recently, though, boys. I wanted to bring up a question. I wanted to bring up a point back to Boots. All seriousness, that none of us mentioned. Who is the best southpaw Boots has fought? There isn't one. The point.
I was gonna have to look it up. Yeah, I could. Nothing was coming to top.
It's not a trick question. There isn't one. And I brought it up to the chat a couple of days ago, and people are like, "Oh yeah, but he's a switch hitter." I'm like, that's not the point. The point isn't what he does. The point is, the point is watching that offense coming at it from a different angle. Everything's kind of opposite. No one's talking about it's his first. Everyone's talking about first fight at 54, right? We know that, but it's his first southpaw he's fighting, and I think that should be talked about. I mean, does it make a difference to you guys that he's a southpaw or no? Not really. Does it matter?
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, it could. Some people hate that.
Some people struggle with southpaws. It's a statistic.
Johnny, talk to you. If I'm a conventional fighter, I don't think it matters for him. But if I'm a conventional fighter and I'm predominantly a jabber, how is that affected by fighting a southpaw? It changes my entire game plan.
You got to change your front foot. You got to time that backhand. I actually like fighting southpaws. I'm a conventional fighter too. I like fighting southpaws, especially in the pocket. I love, I'm not fighting world champions. I'm not fighting like storied amateurs. I'm fighting like lawyers and attorneys and shit down here in Sydney. And, you know what I'm saying? and I look, they're catching him walking into my backhand is something beautiful, and so like I don't mind it, but you're right. I just think that somebody should talk about. No one's talked about it. So no one's sleeping on Lima. Boots is going to do what Boots does. He's going to walk through him. But think about Resendez and Plant. I mean, I can't get past some of the last 6 months, boys. We've watched multiple times.
But Resendez and Plant, and I was wrong about. Can we just acknowledge Caleb Plant sucks? Okay, like I can't get over. You married poorly. I'll just say that.
Oh, that's messed up. I like Caleb Plant, but that's so messed up. My point is,
it was a fight. It was years. It was probably 10 years ago at least. I went to a Jamel Charlo card that was in Houston years ago, and Caleb Plant is probably like his 5th pro fight. Was on the undercard, deep on the undercard, and after the fight, I went to this bar right near the stadium, and Caleb Plant was there. Like, oh. You're the guy, Sweet Hands. You're the white guy that I saw fight on the undercard. Good job, man. You looked awesome. And he just looks at me and ignores me. So ever since then, I don't like Caleb Plant.
Well, he's a lifelong fighter. This kid was doing kickboxing, Muay Thai as like a 7.
Yeah, I get it. I just don't. I don't like Caleb Plant for personal reasons.
I only brought that fight, not because of styles, but the odds. Remember how big of a dog Resendez, I think, was 6-1, 7-1.
Yeah.
We've seen it just in the last 6 months, man. We've seen it a handful of times. The A side is a big favorite, just not living up to it. Is there any chance that that's going to happen
with Boots?
Yeah.
I mean,
did you watch the second Karen fight? I know Karen's a different guy, but from the adjustments Karen made from fight 1 to fight 2, I felt he was hitting Ennis more. He I don't want to say Boots was confused, but there were a couple exchanges where what Karen had done was he wasn't using as much as the ring as he did in the first fight, and he was measuring his exits a little bit more to be in range to counter. And is Boots invincible? Does he just steamroll this guy?
Well, no,
I think that's why they picked a style like Lima. Right?
That's what I was gonna say. It's a style thing.
Like, he's got a team like promotional companies promoting Boots, not for him to lose here. Like it's an investment. They want to make money off him, so they picked the style. Especially watching his last fight against Stanionis, right? Stanionis comes forward, easier to hit. He looks sensational, right? Got the knockout, I think, in the 6th round. What's Lima? Very, very similar. He's not Karen, right? He's not going to move the ring, stick, be crafty, using the jab, setting up shots. Lima's a lot more one-dimensional, so he's kind of a walking heavy bag at times, and that's what Boots thrives off of. So I think, it would be hard. It would be really hard for me to see him lose this fight because he's not going to – I don't think Lima's hurting him. Right?
Is there a knockdown prop? Is there a knockdown prop in play by anybody or no?
Yeah, I got a knockdown prop on it.
I'm gonna pull it up.
It's like minus 400.
So over under or to be knocked down? Oh, they're not they're not down here in Australia. They're shiesty with the knockdown props. They either make you pick Boots Ennis to get knocked down and win, or Lima to get knocked down and win.
Yeah, I really play those props.
Yeah, I'm not going to play them either. I know your boy Muscles does, but
Muscles is it's like 12-1 or 13-1 all time with the knockdown props.
It kind of goes against my film study. It goes against sort of like how I grew up watching the sport, like to actually sit there and cheer for a knockdown. It's kind of like.
But that's why you just take the under. Like Canelo versus Crawford, under 1.5 knockdowns is the biggest steal of all time. No one is. They can fight 100 rounds and no one's getting knocked down. Right now, you need 2 knockdowns. It's like something like that. Like I call it collecting the dividend. They're giving you the money. Just take it. Like, I don't care what the odds are. Terrence Crawford is not getting knocked down. Canelo is not getting knocked down by a welterweight. There's not going to be any knockdowns. That's not happening.
Issues with props is they typically have max bets on them. They limit you very, very. They're low. They're not like money. Like for most of these smaller props, like you're not going to get, and it's not like it's crazy value either. So.
All right, but we're 90 minutes in. I want to thank everybody. I'm going to put both of you boys on the spot because all right, so right now I give Gary, I give you 10 grand. TJ, I give you 10 grand. You're playing with house money. What where do you put those? Where do you put the 10 grand on? What bet? What fight this weekend? It's house money. Where are you putting it on?
Go ahead, Gary. Let me hear you.
First, I'm putting on Guido.
Ugh.
Money line. I'm putting all 10 grand on Guido. I think like to me that there's no way he's gonna lose that fight, and it's even money. So I'm gonna walk away with 20.
Okay. TJ.
Oh. I'll put it on the draw for Boston Fawaz, the double draw.
Let's go.
Are you fucking with me? Dude,
it's house money. It's house money.
But at the same time,
draw, I'll make $160,000.
But Gary, before you jumped on, I've called him on this. I said, when's the last time we saw a double draw? He couldn't even pick one. When? Have we ever seen a double draw?
Josh Franco with the Brazilian kid. Josh Franco had 2 draws with what was his name?
Was it back to back?
No, well, it was 2 out of 3. It was a draw.
Yeah, I thought it was Ioka or
Negrete. Oscar. Yeah, Franco had 2 draws with Negrete.
Okay, so there you go. All the boys are big. So Breaking Bad, shout out to Nick. If you're not following him, go do that. Guys, if you're not following Gary at 3D, go do that. TJ's the Animal, Chilltown Boxing on Twitter. He'll put it on Dave Allen. I appreciate your time, gentlemen. We got about 36 hours before the fight, so I want to say good luck to everybody.
Yeah, check out the weigh-ins tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll check out the weigh-ins. Gary, have fun at the fights, brother.
Yeah,
Gary, have fun at the fights.
Yeah,
TJ, it's an hour and a half. It's an hour and a half drive. Get down here.
That's not happening now.
All right, guys, let's do. This is fun. It's Gary. It's good to do it on my end, man. I just learned how to use all this.
Let's go. I like your setup. You got a nice little crib there. I like that.
Right. We're good. Bachelor style, baby. Bachelor style.
Are you married?
No, I've been with my girl for 8 years, but she owns her own spot. I own my own spot. We live in the same neighborhood.
Oh, you don't live together? Y'all don't live together?
No way.
Okay.